your ad, you're repeating, you're just delivering it back to that audience. It's time to change it up. So it's telling you it's time to change it up. You know, the kinds of frequency data that I'm getting for most of my ads is about 1, and that is because I'm running the ads for 4 days, generally 4 or 5 days, and then I mix them up, put a different kind of set together and do it again. So, you need to be mindful of the frequency. The other number to be mindful of is reach. Reach is how many impressions your ad has got. So how many people is your ad being presented to? And you've got a possibility for this number to be quite high, and you want this to be high. Now, this really depends on a number of things. You know, in fact, Facebook cracked down on spammy ads and, you know, rubbishy kind of stuff going on in posts relatively recently. And it introduced like a quality score that's similar to what Google has. So if people are clicking through on your ads, meaning your ad is resonating with your audience, your quality score is higher. If people don't click on your ad, then Facebook thinks your ad's spammy, and often that is the case. And so the number of impressions or the reach that your ad has a lot to do with your quality. You won't have any trouble with this if you do good targeting to your audiences and, you know, make sure that you're structuring a good offer. You won't have any problem with it. Okay, let me tell you a story, my case study. I've been working with a broker it started around the beginning of the year, I think when school went back. And the challenge was or the objective was to generate new leads. And what we had was the broker was running a property investment seminar. So she partnered with the research specialist, she's running a seminar. So our initial task was to make sure that we filled that seminar. Now, I thought, that's great, that's going to be easy, no worries. And then we came to the detail. Now, the detail is this. We had no keys, and by that I mean we had no keys to the digital assets. And by digital assets, I mean the website, the Facebook page. When we talk about digital assets, the term Michelle used as well, you know, for your email list, these things are really valuable to you. So your Facebook page and your website are your digital assets, and you need the keys to those assets. So you need to be able to access them as an administrator. Unfortunately, in this story, the website was built, but we didn't have the admin passwords, and they were with the people who built it, and there'd been a separation between the broker and those people. So we didn't have access to the admins. This broker had not set up her own Facebook page. She'd had somebody else set it up and manage it for her, and she'd recently separated from them as well. And so she wasn't an admin to her page, so she couldn't make me an admin to the page, which meant I couldn't advertise on it. So getting the keys sorted took 6 weeks. Now, this is a really important thing. I call it digital marketing risk management. Make sure that you've got the keys to your hosting, the keys to your website administration, and the keys to your Facebook administration. And by keys, I mean the login and the password for those 3 things. So once we got the keys, we were in a position to start our campaign. But we had no landing pages, we had no copy, we had a tiny database, and we had very little web visitation. So I don't think this is a real different story to many businesses. Many businesses are in a position like that, particularly where you've got soloists who mainly are running around meeting clients, talking to banks, hanging on the phone with banks, being busy running the business. They don't have time to sort out all this stuff. So I didn't think it was that unusual. It was just made the job a whole lot more challenging. So what we did was we got the keys sorted. As I said, that took 6 weeks. We wrote the copy. We developed the landing pages. We installed the pixel on the website once we had the keys. And we designed and created an ad campaign, a couple of ad campaigns in Facebook. So I'll show you what our plan was. Our plan is pretty much what I've spelled out to you. So first up, clicks to websites. So we did because we wanted to build that pixel, right? So 3 ad sets, 2 ads each, so 3 different audience specifications, 2 ads each. We ran each ad 3 days over a period of 14 days. So we were able to schedule those. So we launched a 3-day one, we scheduled another one, we scheduled another one, and we just changed our days up a little bit as we went. I also went off on holidays aim was to build website traffic for the next step, which is to create lookalike audiences from the custom database and to create lookalike audiences from the pixel on the page. So what we learnt from this, we learnt that people images did best. So the ones that did the best were the ones where we had people up close to camera looking out so that you could see the eyes. Up close images of people did the best. The second thing is where we were more specific with the location of where this seminar was going to be held, we did best. So when we said not just property investment seminar, when we said property investment seminar plus the location, we did much better. We did better with women than we did with men, which is what we expected would be the case, even when we targeted male audiences specifically. Over the 2 weeks that we ran that campaign, we didn't get 100 tracked people to the website that we needed to run the retargeting campaign, so then we had to run our ads for another week in order to get that. And our results for the 2-week period that we set up initially to try and get the campaign started was we spent $181, so our average cost per click was $1.28, a little bit more than what I get with the elderly gents who are interested in radio control standing. Our reach was 20,000 and we had 5 conversions in a 2-week period. And the cost per conversion, $36.20. Now, we filled the event, right? Between this and email and bring a friend, we filled the event in 2 weeks. So there was no problem about that. There's a wait list for this event, which is great. But I think for this $36.20 is quite high for Facebook. And I'm not real happy with that number personally. But then if I think about where we had come from and that this was the first time we were starting with nothing and we're developing this audience and a whole lot of other things, I actually think it's not too bad. Now, here's a word of advice. Rather than benchmarking yourself against someone else or something else that you've heard about, I don't want you to benchmark against these stats. I want you to run your own ad, set up your ads and run it whenever you're going to do that, and then benchmark your first attempt, and then your task from there is to do better than that. Right? There's no point having artificial benchmarks because every audience is different, right? I've got the elderly gents and then we've got this female audience here for this event. Very different. So benchmarking as an average, there's no point. Right? Be more specific with your target audience, get better at your creative, get better at the words, the text that you're putting around your ads, and this number will come down. Right? So your conversions will go up and this number will go down. What else did we achieve? We established the foundations. So this is probably, not only did we fill the event and got wait list, excellent work, we established the foundations. So we have an activated pixel on the website now that is constantly gathering data. So the next time we run this, we're not going to have the 100 limitation problem. We're going to be beyond that without a doubt. We've got landing page templates set up so that we can just plug new text in them, plug a video in them, and off we go. We've got Facebook ads templates set up. We know which images work best. So we've really established the foundation so that next time, it's going to be pretty quick to launch. We've also created and saved these audiences so that we can come back to these audiences and use them again. They're just sitting there, nicely saved in our Ad Manager account. So we don't have to create audiences all over again. So that's my story about working with the broker. Now, what about getting it done? So a couple of things about getting it done. I outsource a lot of things. I do some things myself. I've got a tiny team and we do things together. But what I will say is whenever I outsource, unless I can tell the person who I'm outsourcing to exactly what I want, generally I don't get what I want. Because unfortunately people that you outsource to, they just can't read your mind. I know, I really expect that they should be able to read my mind, but they can't read my mind. So what is the best way for me to outsource something? It's for me to gather images and the kind of ads, websites, landing pages that I like and say, I want one like that. So when you're starting out, what I want you to do, I want you to start screenshotting or capturing advertising in Facebook that you like. Because then if you want to get someone else to do it, you can say, can you make me some like this, but put my name in it and this is what the the offer's going to be, away you go.